Good Monday morning. It's 10 o'clock. We'll take a quick look at your weather, or I guess you could say a long look at your weather for about the next 15 minutes or so. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Had some rain this morning. That's moved out. I think we'll see a break for a little while. Then we could see some more showers and thunderstorms move through the area over the next 24 hours. Maybe a couple of periods of a little bit of rain. And we'll show you some of the computer models estimations on what we saw this morning as far as our radar estimations this morning as far as how much rain we've gotten. Rest of the day forecast calling for temperatures to be there right around 90 degrees this afternoon. We'll fall back into the middle to upper 80s and then around the lower 80s by 10 o'clock. Keep a small chance of rain in the forecast as we go through the afternoon, about 20 to 30%. Quick look at the phone number. You can text us if you have any questions about the weather for this week. Looks like a pretty wet week across southeast Texas. 409-749-9302. That's 409-749-9302. Might want to write that down. And if you don't have a question now, you can always text that to that number at any time, and we'll look at the messages from time to time and try to answer you back as far as your question, as far as maybe you have a outdoor event planned or something like that this week or sometime, and you want to know what the weather's going to be like, and we can just text that to you, text you back on the phone, or if we happen to be doing one of these streams when you message us, we can answer it right there. So 409-749-9302. All right, let's take a look at the allergy report for today. Everything's looking pretty much medium. Weed, grass, mold, tree is 0, so things are actually down just a little bit. We were a little bit higher than this, at least on Friday. Outside, you just saw a little bit of blue down towards Port Arthur. Take you over towards Lake Charles on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, and mostly cloudy skies there, but the rain has stopped in the Lake Charles area. We really don't see much rain at all out there. We had a big area of scattered showers and thunderstorms that pushed down through southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana earlier this morning. That is now diminished, and it's pretty dry. We'll wait for the camera to change here, and we'll see another view from here in southeast Texas, and you'll probably see a little bit of blue sky. That's what we're starting to see. The clouds break up a little bit, waiting for that next disturbance to come through, and that probably is not going to happen until maybe late this afternoon, or maybe not even until late this evening. All right, here we go. Our 12th News studio right here, looking out to the north down I-10. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Seeing a little blue out there, and some of that sunshine will help temperatures rise up into the lower 90s for later on this afternoon. But the roadways are dry now after some of that wet weather we had for this morning, and we'll wait and see one more Skycam before we move on. But nice to see a little bit of blue after a wet start this morning. A lot of folks had to deal with some rainfall as they were heading off to work this morning. There were some pockets of some pretty heavy rain across southeast Texas. Some areas picked up over an inch of rain this morning, while others picked up very little rainfall. And then we'll take you up to Jasper. This camera brought to you by Provalis, our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, and we'll go mostly cloudy, but if you look, there's a little bit of blue up there in the corner up in the Jasper area, so seeing a little bit of sunshine, but across the area we'll go partly mostly cloudy skies right now, and we're looking at maybe some partly cloudy skies a little bit later on this morning before things might cloud over again as we head towards later on this afternoon. Look at temperatures here at 10 o'clock, and right now we're still in the 70s thanks to the rain we had this morning. 72 right now in Beaumont as well as Woodville, 74 Port Arthur, also 74 in Silsbee, 75 Jasper, 73 in Kirbyville, and Orange, one of the warmer spots right now at about 79 degrees. Heading over towards Houston, they're in the middle 70s at 75, Huntsville 76, Conroe 78, Lake Charles about 76, and DeQuincy about 74. Here's the radar over the last 3 hours, and you can see what was left of the rain that moved across at least the triangle here, kind of passing off towards the east and diminishing, and now on radar it's very quiet. We don't have much going on after we had the rain actually start from northern parts of the viewing area earlier this morning, moved southward, and then eventually moved off towards the east. Here is current radar, and current radar just shows a little bit of rain through parts of south central Cameron Parish over in southwest Louisiana, but very quiet here in southeast Texas. We had a pretty good dose of rain. I will show you the radar estimate of the rainfall we had. You can see the lakes area didn't pick up too much rain for this morning. up at the north end of Newton County, maybe 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. A couple isolated spots in northern Tyler County that picked up a little over 1/2 inch of rainfall. But actually, just one little isolated spot picked up 8/10 of an inch of rainfall. Southern Tyler County, about 1/2 inch. Head over into southern Jasper and Newton counties. Looks like anywhere from about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch there as far as rainfall this morning. Really, the heaviest stuff has been to the south, and you can see orange, about 1 1/4 inch of rainfall. Head down towards southern Jefferson County, about 1 inch of rainfall, maybe closer to High Island, about 1.5 inches, 1.40 there. Towards Fannett, 1.30, and then just over the line there in Chambers County near Winnie, picked up one isolated spot where they had about 3 inches of rainfall this morning from the showers and thunderstorms that moved through the area. So definitely along the coast, that's where the heaviest rainfall was this morning. You go farther inland, did have some scattered showers that came in overnight, but they didn't add up to a whole lot. But you guys didn't need much. We had another cluster of some thunderstorms that moved in last evening, and they brought some very heavy rain, some severe weather actually, as far as some gusty winds up through northern parts of Jasper, Newton County, Tyler County as well saw a little bit of that. So these scattered showers this morning weren't too bad compared to what you saw Sunday evening. All right, let's take a look at the big picture. And across the state, fairly quiet right now. You can see that cluster of showers and thunderstorms that built up to our north and west and then died down pretty quickly before moving through. I was thinking might see some more rain later on this morning, but now that's died down. Looking at this little disturbance here, that's moving through central Texas. That's going to be working its way towards the south and east. We'll see if that does anything as it gets down into a little bit more deeper moisture here in southeast Texas. It's all kind of streaming off this front that's to our north. These little disturbances right along the front, and then they kind of break off and they work their way southward. That's kind of what the flow is right now, southeastward, northwest to southeastward. So we'll continue to watch across the state. Most of the state pretty quiet right now. I don't have too much activity, but this front's going to be hanging around all week long, and because of that, we'll see rain chances in the forecast all week long. We're talking about through the work week into the weekend as well. Rain coverages the next couple of days will be up around 70%. So it looks like Tuesday and Wednesday might be the biggest coverages we'll see all week, and then around 40 to 50% as we head towards your weekend. But right now, pretty quiet, and we're hoping it stays fairly quiet, at least through the rest of the morning. Let us dry out a little bit. Big area of low pressure spinning around through parts of Wisconsin, Minneapolis, dragging that front across the U.S. You can see out ahead of it, there's some rain up towards places like Ohio, looks like into Pennsylvania a little bit there. Have some rain across the southeast. Also some rain through Kentucky, Tennessee for this morning. Looks like close to Memphis up into looks like maybe Lexington, Kentucky. And then once you get past really the I guess you could say the Sabine River and you head out west, there's not much going on. I mean, look at this. It is bone dry out in the Intermountain West and on the West Coast. There's nothing going on as far as any precipitation. Really all the activity is over parts of the eastern U.S. The East Coast pretty dry as well, but overall, yeah, everything is filtered around that big area of low pressure moving through the upper Midwest and dragging that cold front with it. That's where all the activity is. So if you're traveling out west, you don't have to worry about anything, but you're heading up into maybe the Great Lakes, up into, like I said, places like Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, you might run into some rain here and there. Here's Futurecast showing temperatures by 1 o'clock up into the lower 90s. As we head towards 3 o'clock, it does show the possibility of another disturbance coming through, activating some scattered showers and thunderstorms, lasting through about 7 o'clock before they die down. Then the rest of the evening looks pretty quiet. Then as we go through the overnight, it does show another chance of some, oh, I guess it doesn't show anything through the overnight, but then it does show another chance of maybe some scattered showers or thunderstorms late tomorrow. So we'll be watching out for that. And then once again, it shows another flare up of some scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So really at any time, these little weak disturbances can come through and we'll see rain kind of flare up on the radar. This particular model showed, what, 2 or 3 different times where we could see a flare up of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's why we say keep the umbrella handy, because it could be quiet for a little while. Then we see a flare up, some rain for a couple of hours, and then things die down again, and that will repeat over and over. And that's what we're kind of looking at for this week. Just these areas of showers and thunderstorms to kind of flare up at times. You'll need the rain gear. You need to kind of watch out for maybe some heavy rainfall, some thunderstorms, and then things start to die down. All right, let's take a look out in the tropics. Right now, there's a little cluster of rain out in the Atlantic, but that is nothing that the Hurricane Center is watching. Also, southern Caribbean, also some showers and thunderstorms, but once again, they're not really watching that right now. Gulf looks pretty quiet, and for the most part, the Caribbean's quiet, pretty quiet out in the Atlantic as well. So good news is, really doesn't look like we'll see any type of tropical formation over the next 7 to 10 days, which is typical for this time of year. Usually, we don't really see this area activate until we get into late August and early September. So we'll continue to watch it, but like I said, nothing going on really for right now. All right, our coastal marine forecast for today: southwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas from 2 to 3 feet. Next high tides tomorrow. We only had one. That was at 4:43 for this morning. Our sunset is about 8:16 for tonight. Look for a light chop on the inland lakes and bays. Water temperature in the lower 80s there. And don't be surprised if we see a couple more showers or thunderstorms kind of activate along the coast as we go through this afternoon or even maybe late this evening. All right, our forecast for today: 60% coverage of rain and thunderstorms. That was mainly, it looks like, this morning, but if you go by some of the computer models, we could see some more showers and thunderstorms develop maybe later on this afternoon, so we'll wait and see if that happens. Southwesterly winds at 5 to 10, and highs today before the rain kicks in around 90 to about 92. Going into tonight, we'll still go about a 30% chance of some scattered showers overnight. Won't be a whole lot, it looks like, overnight, with middle to lower 70s. Of course, a little bit cooler up towards the lakes and down towards the coast, where we'll see temperatures as warm as maybe about 77, 78 through places like Fournette, LaBelle, and down towards Sabine Pass, and of course Winnie. All right, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast, and look, every day we have a good chance of rain. Today we went 60%. Looks like Tuesday, Wednesday we're going to go 70%, then 50% for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Once again, not going to rain all day. There's going to be this flare-ups of showers and thunderstorms at times. Not expecting any widespread severe weather or anything like that, and not expecting any widespread flooding. If we get these breaks in between the showers and thunderstorms, that helps things drain off, dry out a little bit, so we don't have to worry about anything. If we get a day where it rains all day long, of course we could run into some localized flooding there, but we're really not seeing that. It's more of a scattered type of situation as we go through the work week and into your weekend as well. By Sunday, we'll bring rain chances down a little bit to about 40%. But overall, at least it's going to be a little bit cooler. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 80s thanks to the rain and the cloud cover. It's better than the lower to middle 90s like we saw over the weekend. And then morning lows don't change a whole lot. Morning lows are going to be stuck there into the middle 70s. So just be prepared this week with, like I said, your umbrella, your rain boots, because you'll need them from time to time. As far as exactly when things will happen, as far as the rain and thunderstorms, right now, like I said, we just kind of have to watch it day by day. Computer models are not the best in picking up exactly when these things are going to flare up. Once you get closer to the event, they get a little bit better, but right now it looks like we might see a little bit of a flare up this afternoon or maybe even this evening. We'll have to wait and see how those models pan out. So like I said, some models indicating maybe something this afternoon, some indicating it's just going to be dry until tomorrow. So it's the way it just happens to be, where it's tough to decide, and that's what makes my job fun every day. You're trying to figure out. One model might be saying it's completely going to rain today. Others might be saying it's not going to do anything for today. At least we see a little blue out there right now. Here's a view from Pack with Prey in downtown, 74. A little bit of blue sky out there on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And officially, it looks like picked up a little over 1/10 of an inch in downtown. Right now, we have a southeasterly wind at about 6 to 8 miles per hour. Appreciate you joining the stream this morning. We'll do it again at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Matter of fact, every day between Monday and Friday, we'll continue to do these streams for about 15 minutes. Give you a good look at the weather, a kind of a slowed down version of the weather instead of the quick 2 to 3 minute weathercast we typically have during the newscast. So just taking a look at what's going on. We'll do this, like I said, every morning around 10 o'clock. I hope you wrote down that number. If you have any questions, you can text that number, or you can join us tomorrow. We'll have the number up again. You can text us again for tomorrow. Right now, not looking too bad out there. At least it's dry right now. We'll join you tomorrow once again at 10. Of course, our next newscast is coming up here at midday at 11. Yeah, yeah.
In the morning.
Uh-huh.
Coming home's a different story, but
You ever listen to that show, America Coast to Coast?
yeah.
I mean, I would
Mic check
listen to that
1
every
2 3.
morning.
Mic check 1 2
People
3.
talking about
1 2 3.
Sasquatch and UFOs and
Okay, so I'm not reading anything in that show.
check 1 2 1 2.
Now at midday, Roy West and Charlotte Moses win the Jefferson County runoff races. Hear their reactions after the victory. Plus a brawl in Beaumont, the fight that unraveled after a Renegades game. What a player is saying he witnessed. And the search for justice, how loved ones are grieving the loss of King of the Hill actor Jonathan Joss. 12 News at midday starts now. We begin this midday taking a look at a downed tree at John J. French Museum off French Road in Beaumont. This fell during the storm last night. You can see the tree yanked out of the ground, laying there like it never stood tall. Museum staff says they're lucky the tree fell the way it did because it could have damaged the building. Right now, power is restored for a majority of people across Southeast Texas, but at one point, more than 3,000 people, mainly in Orange County, were without power. Let's take a live look outside now at the current weather conditions. Taking a look at Lake Charles there. I can tell you back here in Southeast Texas, it is a different scene from what majority of us saw or heard as we woke up this morning. Happy Monday. Thanks for being here with us on 12 News at midday. I'm Tia Johnson. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber is in our Weather Impact Center. And Jeff, we could see the sky cam before the news started. The sun is out in its glory. Does that mean we're done? Why are you looking at me like that? Does that mean we're done with the rain?
Just listening. No, I don't think we will be completely done with the rain. There is still a chance we could see a flare up of some showers or maybe a few thunderstorms late this afternoon or maybe this evening. Some of the computer models are trying to hint at that. But here's current radar, and it is quiet out there. Nothing on radar. We'll hopefully get through the afternoon that way. But it will be hot with that sun coming out. We're expecting temperatures to top out around 90 today, or at least lower 90s. Right now we're getting close to 80, 79 in Beaumont, also Silsbee and Jasper, 78 in Port Arthur. We are showing 82 right now in Orange. You can see Silsbee now at 80, then 76 Woodville, and then 75 in Kirbyville. Rest of the day we'll go with temperatures climbing up into the lower 90s. Small rain chances through the afternoon, maybe a few showers here and there. As we take a quick look at our allergy report, medium on weed, grass, and mold, 0 on tree. Still got a lot of rain to get through this week. We'll have a complete 7-day forecast for you coming up.
12 News, your election headquarters, sponsored by Nature's Federal Credit Union.
12 News is your election headquarters, and voters went to the polls, and Beaumont incumbent Mayor Roy West has secured a second term. He beat Robin Mouton by 207 votes. West managed to get nearly 51% of the votes. We heard from both Mayor West and Robin Mouton right after the results were final. Take a listen.
So grateful to the people of Beaumont and Miss Mouton. I applaud her. It's been obviously a very tight race, and I'm going to work for all the people of Beaumont. We've made great strides in the last 2 years. I'm looking forward to what we can get done in the next 2 years. But again, extremely grateful.
To my supporters, I say to you, thank you for all of your support. We did not win this time around. However, what you did, you cast your vote for the candidate that you thought would best suit and lead this city, and unfortunately, we fell short.
Mouton's concession speech was followed by prayer. She said she's looking forward to spending time with her family. Meanwhile, in Port Arthur, Charlotte Moses won the runoff election, becoming the next mayor of Port Arthur. We spoke with both Moses and Lewis after the results were final.
I am just thankful to God, first of all, that we've made it through the campaign and that we've won and that this part is over. Now I can concentrate on the work of the city.
We want to thank y'all for supporting the Lewis campaign. It was a great run with great people. This isn't the end, it's the beginning. Port Arthur has spoken.
You can find out more about the winners on 12newsnow.com. Back here in Beaumont, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they were called out to Ford Park Saturday night to assist BPD following a brawl. It happened around 10:15 at a Beaumont Renegades game. According to the Sheriff's Office, the fight involved some players. 12 News crews at the scene spoke to a Renegades player who says players on the opposing team were allegedly threatening to shoot them. We reached out to the head coach of the Beaumont Renegades and he declined to comment. A Hardin County man will soon have his day in court over alleged child sex crimes. 40-year-old Jared Proctor is set to go before Judge Steve Thomas this week. He's accused of 5 felony crimes related to soliciting a minor over the internet for sexual activity and for committing the sexual activity with a minor in 2023. Court documents only list 2 charges of child grooming and online solicitation of a minor. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. In Jefferson County, 32-year-old Lewis Franklin is possibly facing a trial or hearing this week for his role in the kidnapping and torture of a man over government benefits. It happened in February of 2023 at the Autumn Oaks Apartments in Beaumont. Police say the victim had been severely beaten for several hours. Franklin is one of 4 suspects identified in this case. Last week, one of those suspects, Stephen Adams, pled guilty just moments before the jury was set to be seated for his trial in this case. Going across Texas now to San Antonio, where community members gathered to honor actor and musician Jonathan Joss. The King of the Hill actor was shot and killed last week after an altercation with a neighbor. Loved ones are calling it a hate crime and demanding justice. Many at the Remembrance stood in solidarity with Joss. Police initially said there was no evidence it was hate-related, but days later, Chief William McManus admitted that statement came too soon. Right now, Governor Greg Abbott has about 2 weeks left to decide on several bills from the legislative session, including one that would give political appointees more control over Texas public universities. Senate Bill 37 gives more control to university boards and cuts back faculty influence. Regents would oversee curriculum hiring and instruction, while faculty senates would lose decision-making power. A new office would handle complaints, and professors could be removed for political advocacy. Supporters say it targets liberal bias and boosts workforce prep, but critics warn it could silence academic voices and hurt hiring.
There's lots of room for improvements. There's no evidence to suggest that something like what's in SB 37 is actually going to strengthen higher education. There's a lot of evidence from other states that have politicized their systems that it pushes faculty away, it pushes students away.
Governor Abbott has until June 22nd to either sign or veto the bill. If he doesn't veto it, the bill would take effect in September. Advocates are speaking out after a federal judge struck down a Texas law giving undocumented college students in-state tuition. The Justice Department says it violates federal law. Supporters say it helps students get an education. Opponents call it unfair. The Texas Attorney General says he won't fight the ruling. Ahead here at midday, a new festival hits Beaumont. Find out why organizers say the event helps bring awareness to their community. Plus, the National Guard is in Los Angeles right now as protests continue over President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. What we're learning this morning and why police are calling the protest unlawful. Welcome back. The first Southeast Texas Asian Festival was held on Sunday at the Downtown Event Center. It was hosted by the Philippine Association of Beaumont, Texas. This free event had delicious Asian street food, live entertainment, a special sculpture exhibit. We spoke to the president of the organization about why it's so special.
We really want to be seen and represent our culture, Asian culture, especially the Filipino culture. So last February, we partnered with the city of Beaumont to come up this kind of event, and we are looking forward to do it again next year.
He says it's the experience of the rich diversity, community spirit, and cultural pride that makes this event truly unforgettable. Coming up next, we'll have organizers behind a senior expo in studio to tell us all about the event they're putting on tomorrow, how it's meant to help the elderly stay healthy.
And it's been a somewhat rainy morning out there. Looks like we'll continue to see some rain as we go through the rest of the week into your weekend. We'll look at your 7-day forecast update. Our rain coverage is coming up in just a few minutes.
See breaking news or have a great pic to share? Send it to 12 News. Just go to your camera roll, click share, and look for the 12 News logo.
Welcome back. Los Angeles police have declared downtown LA an unlawful assembly zone as protests over recent immigration raids stretch into a fourth straight day. About 300 National Guard troops are patrolling the streets right now. The protests, which started peacefully, turned violent with demonstrators burning cars and throwing bottles and chunks of concrete at police. We know several dozen people were arrested over the weekend. And in downtown San Francisco, protesters took to the streets over the weekend as well. They gathered in front of the ICE office as a show of solidarity with demonstrators in Los Angeles. The immigration raids became chaotic amid President Trump's extraordinary deployment of federal troops in Los Angeles. Dozens of officers arrived in vans. The crowd moved in and began pushing toward officers. A few of them threw eggs and at least one glass bottle. At least 60 people were arrested. And back here in Texas, protesters in Houston marched through the streets fighting the recent ICE raids. Participants called for an end to deportations and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, abolished. Across the world, President Trump's travel ban is now in effect. The order fully restricts and limits the entry of nationals from 12 countries. The president also partially suspended entry of travelers and immigrants from 7 other countries. The White House says there will be exceptions for lawful permanent residents, existing visa holders, and some other categories.
After some wet weather this morning, seeing some blue skies mixed with a few clouds out there for late this morning. Going into this afternoon, we might see a couple more showers develop, but right now it looks pretty quiet. Here's the view up in Jasper, brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And a little bit of traffic out on the roadways there in Jasper, and looks like dry conditions on the roads. Temperatures starting to work their way up into the lower 80s, at least in Silsbee at 81 and then Orange at 82. Getting close to 80 in Beaumont at 79, Port Arthur's at about 78, Jasper's at 79, Woodville 76, and Kirbyville currently about 75. Radar is quiet right now, nothing going on across southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana also looking pretty quiet after we had those showers and thunderstorms. Take a look at radar. This goes back 6 hours, and you can see some of those showers and thunderstorms that moved across the area. I think the heaviest stuff definitely was across the triangle here, where we picked up anywhere from an inch, a half an inch, to some places over an inch and a half of rainfall. Lakes area got some rain this morning, but generally it was about a quarter to a half an inch. It really diminished as we head towards 9-10 o'clock for this morning, and now all is quiet. Like I said, we'll be watching for maybe some more to develop. There's a front to our north. This is going to be sticking around all week long, and we're going to see these showers and thunderstorms start to develop along the front, and then you can see that flow kind of off towards the south and east. They're going to follow that flow, and we'll see maybe a few rounds of showers and thunderstorms each day as they kick up and then move down into our area. So that's why we have our high rain coverages all week long as this front does not move. Eventually it'll move out, but it looks like it might not be until maybe next week before it does that. Our futurecast showing lower 90s for this afternoon. This particular model shows possibility of a flare-up of some showers and thunderstorms around 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then dying down as we head towards the evening. Also shows quiet conditions as we go through the overnight into tomorrow morning as we drop off into the 70s, and then shows maybe another flare-up of some showers and thunderstorms as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, we're actually thinking about a 70% coverage of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Along the coast, a southwesterly wind at 10 to 15 knots, seas around 2 to 3 feet. Only one high tide. That was early this morning at 4:43. Sunsets tonight at 8:16. Water temperature there at 83 into the Gulf of Mexico. So the rest of the afternoon, I have 60% coverage. That was mainly this morning. That probably is going to drop off to maybe a 30 to 40% coverage if we see stuff develop. And we're going to be up there around the lower 90s with some sunshine breaking out. And then for tonight, back down into the middle to lower 70s. 30% chance and maybe a few showers overnight with mostly cloudy skies. Our 7-day forecast shows those rain coverages remaining pretty high all week long, at least 70% for Tuesday, Wednesday, 50% Thursday through Saturday, and then we'll knock it down slightly to about 40% on Sunday. The timing on these, like I said, are going to be pretty tricky. There could be some that flare up in the morning, some in the afternoon, some maybe not flare up till late in the evening. It's going to be kind of day by day whether where we're going to see these things and what time they're going to pop up. But there is a good chance every day that we're going to see something, and we'll see temperatures at least a little bit cooler. We'll be in the upper 80s as we go through this week with lows into the 70s.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Well, have you been looking for fun activities for your senior citizen? No worries. Cumulus Radio has you covered with the Cumulus Senior Expo. It's packed with games, health checks, prizes, and more. And joining us this morning to talk more about it is Brandon Shaw. He's the program director for KD 101.7 and Q94. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. Now tell me about this Senior Expo. What can people expect?
Yeah, a fun event for all seniors. Now, and let me just clarify, this is for not your graduating seniors from high school. I know we just had a bunch of that in Southeast Texas, but this is for your mama and pawpaw seniors, you know. But a fun day filled with all kind of activities, like you said, some performances. We're going to have health screenings. What else? Free blood pressure checks. Just a lot of things that would be of interest to a senior. So we definitely welcome all seniors, their families, their caregivers to come and join us at the Beaumont Civic Center.
What inspired Cumulus, to put on this event?
Yeah, well, like I said, we just thought that it was important, to give them, the seniors in Southeast Texas, some education on some topics and some subjects that might be of interest to them, give them a place to come and have some fun. We're going to have some singing, some entertainment from Britt Godwin. He's going to play a couple of times for the seniors. We have some ladies that were, I'm laughing because I just left the Beaumont Civic Center a while ago, and some of the ladies have a dance team. They're seniors, and they were practicing, and they're going to perform tomorrow for our seniors. And most importantly, we're going to be playing bingo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're never too old to play bingo.
Never too old. I kind of like bingo a little bit.
I do too.
Now, the good details or the important details, where will this be, what day, time, all that good information?
It happens tomorrow. Doors open at 9 a.m. at the Beaumont Civic Center. And keep in mind, this is an absolutely free event. It's free to get in. It's free to park. We're not going to catch you around the corner and take money from you. It's a 100% free event tomorrow. It happens 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. Beaumont Civic Center. We will be using the north entrance, just so you know, and I call that the parking lot side of the Beaumont Civic Center, or the side that the Children's Museum is on, not the City Hall side. So just we're making it convenient for everyone to park and come right on in.
Good to know. How many years has Cumulus put this together? Do you know?
Yes, one, counting this year.
Oh, this is the first year.
Yeah,
Got you. So, what are you looking forward to the most?
Calling bingo. You know, for some reason, I'm looking forward to the bingo. I know everyone has fun, so we're just going to have a fun time.
Anything people should know before they head out that way tomorrow?
Well, you know, according to Jeff Gerber, there might be a little rain, so bring an umbrella, but be sure to come by and have some fun with us.
To make sure they download the 12 News Now app for that.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. This is happening tomorrow at the Beaumont Civic Center.
Yes.
And what time?
9 a.m. doors open.
9 a.m. doors open until when?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay. You can stay the whole time, or is it just you?
Absolutely. You know, bingo is going to happen a couple of different times during the course of the event, and Britt Godwin's going to sing over the course of the event. So there will always be an activity or something going on top of the 35 to 40 booths that are set up with our seniors in Southeast Texas in mind.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
And straight ahead, Coco Gauff stages a stunning comeback, defeating Arena Sabalanca to win the French Open. The emotional victory, the crowd's reaction, and what's next for the American rising tennis star. We're back with an inspiring story out of Houston. An 82-year-old veteran, Ira Griffin, in Fort Bend County, was at risk of losing his home in a foreclosure until a close neighbor stepped in, launching an online fundraiser to help cover the cost. Griffin has lived in that home for more than 20 years, but after battling serious health issues and spending years in and out of the hospital, he fell behind on payments to his homeowners association more than 3 years ago. Last month, Griffin received a final notice to pay over $16,000 or risk losing his home. In just 5 days, the fundraiser raised more than $19 grand. Griffin says he's humbled by the outpour of support from the community.
I would be humbled. I would do it for him. I don't have to say thank you to Randy. And he doesn't have to say thank you for me.
The neighbor behind the effort posted online they are overwhelmed and thankful for the love and generosity from the Houston community. As for Griffin, a representative from his property association says they plan to meet with him next week to discuss possible options. Now, Coco Gauff won the French Open in a massive comeback against Arina Sabalenka of Belarus. This
mic check. Oh, well, I can go stand up there now. Are you ready now? They don't have a mode box. I'm just gonna have to set the mic down on the podium.
Put FS2 into programming so I can just watch it and then leave it there when you leave it. Okay, thank you. Are you
Because when we got the mic, I won't be able to put it like on top here. It's got to be on the side right there. But I'm assuming his voice is really loud. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's good. Okay. All right. Okay. Because he's probably gonna yell. You can't have the mic on the top like that. It got to be like on the side. It'll slide down and break. So, yeah. And 6 is here too. I'm gonna power it down, save the battery, so that'll be your audio, okay? All right, okay, all right. Well. As soon as I power it down, he shows up.